Assalamualaikum. My name is Puteri Nur Ainaa Binti Aminuddin, and today I will be presenting my international trade policy final assignment. Okay, for the introduction. Australia is a home to a very modern and trade-dependent economic system that is characterized by its exceptionally large mineral and energy, agriculture and services, and strong global market integration through major trade agreements. Some of these agreements include the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, and the Australia-India Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement. Recent government measures that have made it a part of their national strategies to diversify exports, strengthen supply chain, and develop the minerals and clean energy sectors. At the same time, Australia is using trade remedies, investment screening, and strategic export controls as a means of protecting national security while remaining compliant with the internationally agreed upon rules of trade. Okay, next is historical context of Australia's trade policy and intervention. Australia possesses a highly open and globally connected economy propelled by exports, including minerals, agriculture, education, and services. Okay, its trade strategy promotes competitiveness, facilitates global market access, and ensures long-term economic sustainability. Australia persists in diversifying its export markets to mitigate reliance on certain trading partners. The government underscores the importance of supply chain resilience, particularly in crucial minerals and clean energy sector. Trade policy includes both liberalization initiatives and liberate actions to safeguard national interests. Australia upholds a rule-based framework via WTO obligations and regional trade agreements. Recent development encompass the restoration of diplomatic relations, the enhancements of economic prospects, and the fortification of vital areas. A trade policy instrument. Australia employs many trade policy measures to regulate imports, safeguard native industries, and promote economic stability. Okay, the primary tools consist of tariff, import quotas, subsidies, and export controls implemented according to industry requirements. This instrument seeks to reconcile free trade obligations with domestic protection and national security objectives. Australia upholds minimal average tariffs while implementing specific safeguards on sensitive goods. Import quotas are employed strategically to control the quantity of product entering domestic market. Subsidies and industrial support bolster vital industries, particularly manufacturing and essential minerals. Export controls are implemented to protect national interests, regulate critical technologies, and adhere to international regulations. These measures exemplify Australia's hybrid strategy, integrate liberalization with strategy intervention. Okay, next we will talk about tariff, import quota, subsidies, and export control. Okay, first tariff. Australia upholds minimal average tariffs, reinforcing its dedication to free trade. A tariff continues to be imposed on certain sensitive sectors to safeguard the domestic industry. Tariff revisions aim to diminish operational expenses while preserving competitiveness. Okay, for import quotas are employed selectively to control the quantity of specific items entering Australia. Okay, they assist in stabilizing domestic markets and averting abrupt import influx, primarily utilized in industries necessitating market equilibrium or national security consideration. Okay, third is subsidies. Subsidies bolster vital sectors, particularly manufacturing, renewable energy, and essential minerals. Their objective is to augment competitiveness, innovation, and national resilience. Next, support encompass subsidies, tax incentive, and industry initiatives that accord with government aims. Okay, Fourth, export control. Export restrictions safeguards national security and govern the transfer of sensitive products and technologies. Okay, they assist Australia in fulfilling its international responsibilities, encompassing with WTO and strategic agreements. Frequently utilized in industries about dual-use technologies, essential minerals, or defense-related materials. Okay, next is impact of government intervention. Government intervention safeguard vital industries, fortifies national security, and bolster economic resilience amid global instability. Nonetheless, interventions like subsidies, export restriction, and trade remedies may generate conflicts with free trade tenets and affect global opinions of Australia receptiveness. These interventions influence local market efficiency and Australia's standing in the global trading system, necessitating a balance between openness and strategic protectionism. Okay, next is motivations behind Australia's trade intervention, implications for international relations, WTO compliance and trade dispute, and domestic political consideration. Okay, for motivations behind Australia trade intervention, Australia trade interventions are driven by three key motivations. First, the government aims to bolster the indigenous industry and address market inefficiency, ensuring local businesses can remain competitive. Second is it seeks to support exporters, especially small and medium-sized enterprise, by helping them overcome financial barriers and challenge in international markets. Okay, finally, third, these interventions are designed to strengthen Australia's economic autonomy and resilience, allowing the country to better withstand global uncertainties. Okay, next, for implications for international relations, interventions may be perceived as protectionist influencing diplomatic relations. Australia reconciles domestic policies with obligations to free trade agreements and World Trade Organization's regulations. Okay, for strategic commercial diplomacy facilitates the preservation of market access and the stability of ties. Okay, third is WTO compliance and trade dispute. Australia utilizes the WTO dispute resolution mechanism to confront inequitable trade policies. Domestic policies may incite controversies, yet Australia maintains transparency and adherence. Participations in oversight guarantees conformity with multilateral trade regulations. Okay, lastly, domestic political consideration. Trade interventions are shaped by political pressures aimed at safeguarding employment and industry. The government addressed lobbying from critical sectors impacted by global competitiveness. Policies seeks to sustain economic stability and public endorsement while fulfilling trade commitments. Okay, next is implications of trade policies on free trade. Okay, trade policies including tariffs, subsidies, quotas, and export control can distort markets and diminish adherence to free trade ideals. These policies may affect international competitiveness, alter supply chains, and elicit reactions from trading partners. Okay, effectively structured regulations compliance policies are essential to reconcile domestic protections with enduring pledge to free and open trade. Okay, further recommendations, enhance focus and transparent measures to assist critical industries while reducing market distortions. Ensure policies adhere to WTO regulations to preserve Australia's credibility in international commerce. Augment digital trade, facilitation, and diversify export markets to bolster long-term competitiveness. Implement provisionals where rationalize steps that reconcile national security with free trade tenets. foster innovation, enhance skill development, and strengthen industrial capabilities to cultivate a robust local economy. Okay, next is a conflict with free trade principles, effects on domestic markets, effect on international markets. First is conflicts with free trade principles. Tariff, subsidies, and export controls can impact market competitiveness and diminish compliance with free trade principles. These measures may induce trade distortions despite being consistent with WTO regulations. Policies must be meticulously crafted to prevent retaliation and uphold transparency. Second is effect on domestic market. Interventions save employment to and bolster critical sectors amid global disruptions. Nonetheless, they may elevate expenses for other industries and diminish competitive pressures. Sustained enhancement necessitate innovations, skill acquisition, and productivity advancement. Okay, lastly is effect on international market. Protectionist policies can impact supply chain and shape the reactions of partner nations. The frequent interventions may adversely affect Australia's reputations as a dependable trading partner. Clear regulations compliance policies facilitate the preservation of global competitiveness and market accessibility. Okay, for the conclusion, Australia's trade policies reconcile free trade principles with targeted domestic protection to enhance national security and economic resilience. Measures such as subsidies, export restrictions, and trade remedies bolster essential industries but may generate conflicts with international free trade principles. Reduced participation in WTO and regional accords fosters transparency, adherence, and international reputations. Long-term success necessitates focused provisional and regulation compliance policies in addition to diversity, innovation, and the facilitation of digital trade. Australia must maintain a balance between openness and strategic protection to sustain competitiveness in a changing global economy landscape. That's all from me. Thank you.